Hey folks, it's Gary Karp, that tarot guy, here with your card of the day reflections for Monday, March 8th. As always, these card of the day reflections are being used or coming to you from the Rider-Waite deck. Again, I honestly believe the Rider-Waite deck is the OG tarot deck. In my opinion, it is the only definition of a tarot deck. And that's all I'm going to say on that because, well, I've been on my soapbox before. You guys know how I feel about it. So let's just dive into today's card of the day. Today's card of the day is the Magician. Now, this is really interesting because yesterday's card of the day was the High Priestess. And it's almost like we're doing this backwards, right? That first we talked about the High Priestess and the fact that she holds mysteries and secrets, and when we're ready to take the journey, we discover that those secrets are really our subconscious mind, our psychic energy that lives in all of us, that we need to connect to ourselves and therefore connect to the universe. The Magician, which comes right before the High Priestess in the Major Arcana. As a matter of fact, the Magician is the first archetype, the first trump that the Fool meets on his Fool's journey, represents the active rather than the High Priestess's passive. It is the masculine energy as opposed to the feminine energy of the High Priestess, the yin to the High Priestess's yang. Now, when I look at the Magician, immediately what comes to mind is creation, action. But it goes a lot deeper than that. Because what the Magician really tells us is that we have the ability, we have in ourselves the ability to create anything we want in our life, to create our lives, actually, however we want to manifest it. The Magician lets us know that the energy is within us, the power is within us, that we really don't need to rely on anyone else. We can do it ourselves. But it is a challenge because the Magician is aware of all the creative energy, all the psychic energy that was in the Fool. He's aware that it lives within inside of us, and it's the way we create our world. Where the Fool takes that wand and he slings it over his shoulder and he uses it to support his sack, the Magician knows the power in that wand. We can see the wand up here. It's pointed straight up to the universe. It is a lightning rod for connection to the energy of the universe. So it can be filtered throughout our bodies. Now, a lot of people think that the magic actually happens there. And that's not the case with the Magician. What the Magician is really telling us is when we have all this creative energy inside of us, when we are filled with this passion, and remember we spoke about passion with the Queen of Wands, so all of this is coming together. When we're filled with this passion, we've got to do something with it, right? Because if we don't, it will just be wasted. Think about it. The energy of creation, that energy of life is within us all, and we all feel it at one point or another, right? Maybe you go to a concert or a sporting event, and while you're there, you have all this energy. You feel alive. You can feel it surging in you so badly that you feel you're going to burst. You may have a religious experience at a church where you feel filled and consumed by the Holy Spirit. And while you're in that church, while you're in that sermon, you will feel alive and happy. But the minute you leave the church, the minute you leave the concert or the sporting event, that feeling goes away. Because the life energy, the creative energy that the Magician talks about cannot be sustained. It must be discharged, right? The real magic happens in the other hand. The real magic happens in the hand and the arm that's pointing to the ground, being used to discharge that energy and send it into the ground and make it real, make it physical. So the lesson that we see here in The Magician is that yes, we have all this creative energy, all this psychic energy inside of us that's ready to create the world that we want. But we have to take action. We just cannot sit on our duffs and be filled with this feeling and love the feeling and not do anything with it. We must direct our will, our physical strength, and our will of character, our will of emotion, and direct it into whatever we are trying to manifest. Right? That also is the one missing piece in the law of attraction. That when people talk about the law of attraction, they make it seem like all you have to do is think about the item and boom, it appears. That's not the case. Right? The magician tells us that's only half the battle. You can be filled with the idea of what you want to create. You can get that image in your mind. As a matter of fact, you need to do it. That's what the high priestess tells us. Tap into that psychic ability. Tap into your subconscious to create as fully a picture of what you want. Connect with all of your emotions so it fills you up. But then you got to do something. Then you have to take action. So many people react. We allow ourselves to be ping pong balls in the great universal pinball machine. Right? We're just caroming off bumpers and being flipped all over the place. And all of the energy we have to create our lives the way we choose to is wasted because we're allowing other people to control us. We're allowing other people to dictate our direction. The magician shows us and tells us that we have to take control. We have to be active or proactive instead of reactive. Get that picture in your mind of what you want. And every day take action towards it. Don't let anything stand in your way. That's the action, the active nature of the energy of the magician. Now, I do want to say one other thing. If we notice the magician, even though he's all active, you can see that he is surrounded by flowers, by plants. They're underneath him, they're above him. And what this symbolizes is even though the magician is a card of action, it's a yin card, a masculine card, a masculine energy that tells us we have to be active. We have to take action. We have to steer our will. The plants remind us that we have to do it in a grounded way. We have to be certain of what we want. And we have to remain with our feet in the ground. Otherwise, we will lose ourselves in our creations. Right? We may become egotistical or narcissistic. Or we just may focus so much on it, we forget there's an outside world. So tonight, when you are meditating on the energies of this magician card, think about the ways that you can bring about your reality. What actions can you take to create your best life, the life you only dream about, that you want to manifest? And write down those steps. But then also remember to sit in meditation and ground yourself and connect your why. That is why you want to create these things. Why do you want to manifest this life? It doesn't matter if it's a business that you're starting, or maybe you want a relationship with a significant other, or maybe you want to write a book. Whatever it is, ask yourself why. Get clear on that. That will keep you grounded. Because that passionate energy that wells up and makes us feel so wonderful which is that active energy, that energy of life and creation itself, well, that burns out really quick if it's not used. And through the grounding and the understanding of our why, that will keep us and propel us forward on the days that, quite honestly, we don't want to do any of it, right? We all have those days. Hell, I have them. There are days where I know I need to do a card of the day reflections because I want to support this community and I want to share my experiences and knowledge. But honestly, there are some days I'm tired and I don't want to do it. If I wasn't grounded in my why, I would say screw it, and I'd miss a day or two or three, and pretty soon you'd forget about me. And so what I'm trying to accomplish and what I'm trying to build would never happen. That's the lesson, the combined lesson of this magician. Action. Take action. Be proactive in following your dreams and manifesting the life you choose to. But also remember that you've got to be grounded. You've got to know your why, the reason you want to have what you're going to manifest. Well, folks, that's what I got for you today. If you're enjoying these Card of the Day reflections, please think about heading on over to my Patreon page and supporting me, dropping $1 in my tip jar. For just $1 a month, you will be able to support me in continuing to do what I love, which is sharing tarot. And you'll also get Patreon-only perks. You'll get extended Card of the Day readings. You'll get unboxing videos. You'll get blogs or essays or whatever you want to call them of my writings and my thoughts. You'll get access to my personal diary where I may share a rant or some thoughts on tarot or maybe some thoughts just on the last episode of WandaVision. By the way, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do it. It's a great show. All you need to do is head on over to www.patreon.com/thattarotguy and donate what you can. I'm also starting to introduce a yearly plan for my Patreon supporters where if you decide to donate for the entire year, you're going to get 2 months free. So thank you very much for supporting me through this journey. I look forward to serving you and helping you along on your spiritual journey, on your tarot journey as the days and weeks and months go by. And until tomorrow, be good.